A broadcasting legend in his own mind. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Huddle. Thursday night. We got Thursday night football. But first, I got to discuss. Because I'm an analyst. I really am an analyst, and I really analyze that game. And I'm going to tell you right now, the NFL has it against the Giants. There's no way that call doesn't go against anybody else but the Giants. Okay, terrible thing. I really in real life I'm 4'10" and I'm an analyst, so I know how to analyze things. So don't tell me I don't know how to analyze stuff.
Well,
I analyze that game because that's what I do.
Let me see. Honestly, I thought he hit his arm, Coach. It was close. The thing that's bad, he wasn't looking back at the quarterback. He wasn't looking for the ball. Right. So I see what you're saying with that. And the thing I think factors, Coach, and you know it too, if there was fans in that stadium, there is no way they pick up that flag. There's no way. There's no way they pick up that flag. What I would say, though, too, honestly, Coach, the Giants were the better team that night. The Giants should have won that game.
Daniel Jones is the problem. Cannot.
2 bad interceptions.
3 bad. He had guys wide open down the field and missed them horribly.
He had Slayton, Coach. Honestly, if it was me, I could have took it to the end zone. And I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, he ran past the guy. There wasn't a guy within 10 yards of him, wide open, and didn't see him. And then we talked about the one where he threw it to the outside, whereas too, Coach, you throw it inside.
Right.
Let your guy run into it. Why, that was a mistake. He left plays all over the field. Credit to Jason Garrett. I get on him a lot. He called a good game. He put his guys in possession.
The Giants ran the ball really well. You had
the line was good.
3 rookies on that offensive line and played very well.
Yeah. No, I thought they were physical. I thought they were more physical than the Bucs. No, you're right. They played well. And you know what, too? Because the Bucs defense is very fast, very aggressive, and they used it against them. And Daniel Jones didn't capitalize. And there's many plays. It was – I look, you know me, I'd be the first one to say if you were wrong. But really, legitimately, I had the Bucs for my suicide pool I'm still in that night. They should have lost that game. It shouldn't have come down to that 2-point conversion. Like I said, I think that's definitely a tough play. You're looking at overtime. But honestly, the Giants were the better. They deserve to win that game.
Absolutely. And yes, I think Golden Tate's going to get shown the curb. And the Giants picked up the 49ers former second-round pick in 2018. I think he was drafted 17 or 18. He was a second-round receiver from Washington. Can't remember. His name slips me right now, but The Giants picked him up, and Golden Tate. I'm tired of this. You're a veteran. You're supposed to be a class guy. Now you're not getting your way, so now you're going to start bitching and whining so you could get cut. Who's picking you up, Golden Tate? You're an old has-been guy. Be lucky the Giants even are paying you.
Right.
I don't get it. That pisses me off. There's the door. Don't let you in the ass on the way out and don't really care. It was a bad signing to begin with. We didn't want you. We didn't need you. So move on.
Yeah.
Another Dave Gettleman bad signing.
Yeah. But you know what, Coach? Look, the one thing I look at, and this is fact. This is the best 1-7 team in the history of football. It really is. You look now, they hung in with Tampa Bay, and you could give it the woulda, coulda, shoulda, but this is a young team that needs to find how to win. Yeah. Last game, look, it's your quarterback. He misses some throws, and then you get a tough penalty call. But they're right there. You can't go with the team. You look, they lose in a close game to Pittsburgh, 4 points to Chicago, both over 500. That close game to the Rams, they were within a touchdown. They lost to the Dallas when Dallas still had Prescott.
Right.
You lose to the Eagles by a point, the Bucs by 2 points. Listen to all the games right there. Like I said, this is the best 1-7 team I think I've ever seen. They're competitive. I think things are bright, but you got to get rid of
we're
Gelman.
playing another team that Daniel Jones only beats. Washington and Tampa Bay are the only two teams he can beat, apparently.
What's up, Vicky?
So,
but you know what,
hey,
Coach?
Vicky.
Honestly, I would move on from Daniel Jones. That's going to be the thing. If they hang on and try to sit there and hope he gets better, I think he showed you just the prone for too many turnovers and the misplays. They got to move on.
Look,
and
he is the only, and what's making it worse is that Winston's not playing because he's the only guy who's put up more turnovers than Daniel Jones,
right?
In the amount of games he's played.
Oh, Wentz still a little bit.
30 games, yes, but Daniel Jones has played 20 games and he has 38 turnovers. 30
the most since Ryan Leaf, Coach. It's the most in 20 years to start a career.
Yep.
So that's what you're looking at. Look, I think you found your coach. I like Joe Judge. That
Absolutely.
Team's different, Coach. They're not a walkover. They play hard. You just need to get the right guys around the right coach, and you need to get a new QB. But I think two moves you got to make. Gettleman, gone, and then Daniel Jones. I think you're headed in the right direction.
Well, my only point with Daniel Jones, I'll say, is if you're not getting Trevor Lawrence, I really don't like anybody else in this draft.
Okay.
So what I would use that maybe draft back, trade back, get some capital, put some pieces around Daniel Jones, give him one more season, and then it's time to move on.
Okay.
It's time to move on.
Okay, maybe you give him one more year.
Because kind of this
he
year,
is young, but
new coach,
no
training camp really.
But then it's another year you're wasting though too. I almost agree with what you were saying before. If you could get like a Matt Ryan or a guy that you can trust that you think can be a placeholder until you find your future guy, I wouldn't mind that either. Bring a guy like Matty Ice in, give him 2 years. He'd make those receivers better. Slayton and Shepard. I still do think, Coach, I know you like the receivers. I do think they need the guy.
Yes, they still need a number one.
They'll be great complementary guys.
He's not a true one.
Right. They would make Slayton that much better, Coach.
Right.
You know what I
mean? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So, and look, defensively, they're not that bad. Bradbury impresses me.
Yeah.
Williams is playing good.
I know. Do you sign him long term? That's the question. Or was that another bad trade by Gettleman? You gave up 2 draft picks for a guy that you franchise tagged. And,
And honestly, I think you got to get rid of Gettleman because, Coach, if you don't, he won't draft a QB just to be stubborn, too.
Right.
Like, if it's there and you're done with Daniel Jones, you got to move on. If you can get the kid from Ohio State, I know a lot of people like this kid from North Dakota again, too, where North Dakota State.
I'm not a fan of either one. I don't think that Justin Fields, I don't care. Everybody's calling him another, the kid from
Lamar Jackson?
Cardinals. No, in the Cardinals, basically.
Kyler Murray. Okay.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think
so
that guy.
Kyler Murray's got to come, man.
And you know what? Go to Jacksonville and fail there. I just don't think he's the guy. I'm not sold on him. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Maybe that kid from BYU might start crawling up the draft, but
But Coach, I think next year it's going to be like musical chairs for quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
To go to tonight's game, I think Jimmy G's gone. And, maybe Bill Belichick says, okay, come back to New England. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He liked him. I think he's hurt too much. Let's not forget, remember when he took over for Brady in New England? He played 2 games and got hurt. He gets traded to San Francisco, wins 5 games, gets hurt. He's been hurt every year. And look, the Niners are a great team that's a quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl. I mean, last year, if you'd have had a quarterback that was just a little bit better than Jimmy G, they win that Super Bowl. They're the champions, not the Chiefs.
Yep. And yes, Tommy, I'm not saying that the kid's not a top 5 pick. He's probably going to be a top 5 pick. I just don't think he's the guy for the Giants.
Look, you know what? Look at like I still think I wasn't too impressed with Tua. Now it's 1 game. I'm not going to say, but I think the Dolphins are going to come to regret taking Tua over Justin Herbert. I mean, now we don't know; it's too early to tell. But
no,
Tua,
but the Giants, everybody in the Giants room liked Herbert, and Herbert wound up staying in, and the Giants went with a quarterback anyway, and that but so
I mean, but like I said, I think you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks move.
Matty Ice, Darnold, unfortunately, is going to be done. He's going to be done.
Sam Darnold.
I'm going to keep saying it. Sam Darnold's going to wind up in Pittsburgh, and they will repeat as being, if not a Super Bowl team, but AFC Championship team.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I'm him too, I got two teams I'm looking at. Pittsburgh would be my desired choice, but Colts if not. I mean, those are my two desired spots because both of them have teams built in around. I would rather go to Pittsburgh because you got the playmakers there more. Better. Right. I mean, the line might be better in Indianapolis, but man, you got Claypool, the young kid out of Notre Dame, Jimmy, Schuster, a lot of players in Pittsburgh, and just a winning organization. I mean, Colts are too, but Pittsburgh, they're year in, year out, they're there, man. They're there. So,
all right, listen, I'm going to bring in a special guest right now. From Monday night's game. Head referee.
Good evening,
Bradley Rogers. There he is.
Good evening, fellas. How you guys doing tonight? Listen, I just wanted to start off by saying what a great job myself and the rest of my officiating crew did on Monday night. Spot on calls. Spot on. Matter of fact, we let the Giants stay in that game because of ratings for Monday Night Football. We almost screwed up. We almost let them come back too much. I had to go to the line judge and say, whoa.
You know what? You thought it was Tampa Bay on offense. That's why you threw the flag at the end. You got confused there.
I listen, Coach, I told the line judge, I said, I don't know if the flag fell out of your pocket or what happened, but listen, stuff that back in there. Let's go. We're going to go Tom Brady. We're going to let him win this game. And, let's get things rolling for next week.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now, let me ask you, because, I said some of that stuff a while back to Nevada Nick, and he said he didn't appreciate it. But I just want to know, did you get the information that I passed along to you today?
I did. My
was any of that stuff helpful for you? Was any of it helpful?
I had problems reading it all. I thought I was on a group text, and here comes about a year's worth of stats coming through my way. I said, "What the hell is Coach smoking? One of them funny cigars again?" It's a little early in the day for that, but I appreciate it.
Too early in the day for anything.
That's true.
But I just thought that I thought there were some good pieces of information.
Yeah, there were.
That I could pass along to someone who would use it, because if you got the very last one, it said if you've been following it all season, you'd be 15-0-1 against the spread.
Right. Against.
Well,
right.
Mal send it to me. If that's true, send that my way. Real quick there, Bradley Rogers.
Yes.
Just want to get some of your fantasy advice. I was looking. So Niners tonight. Okay, you're playing the Packers. Mm-hmm. I know there's a lot of injuries, definitely, no doubt. But let's not forget the Niners did run the football on the Packers last year in the NFC Championship and in the regular season. Okay. JaMychal Hasty, is he somebody you would look at tonight or stay away? I think he might be not a bad pickup.
Yeah, I mean, look at what Dalvin Cook did against Green Bay's defense last week. Now, JaMychal Hasty isn't Dalvin Cook.
Right.
But guess what? He's a starter. He's your number one. The rest of the guys are hurt, So I would plug in JaMychal Hasty for sure.
Yeah, and Stiz, I was saying to Coach off the air, I'm getting a little concerned now because you're starting to see COVID pop up a lot.
Yeah,
Chris Jones has it for the Chiefs. There's a Bears player, a bunch of Niners players. I think the Niners Deebo Samuel and Bourne out tonight, correct?
Well, Deebo Samuel was out because of injury, I believe.
Okay.
What happened was. Yes, Kendrick Bourne was out because of COVID.
And Trent Williams.
Yes. And it came out last night, the guy I just picked up last week, Brandon Ayuk, who had a monster game last week.
That's what it was.
Yes, he's out due to COVID as well.
And he's good. Yeah, that's their
Sure is.
top two receivers, right?
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
Ayuk's
Yeah,
the
but
rookie.
I mean, who's the quarterback?
Mullins.
Mullins, yeah, Nick Mullins. He came
Which is
in last
why
week.
I said about Hasty
I
because
thought
you know
Bobby
they're going to
Beathard's nephew or grandson was the backup quarterback for them,
for who?
for the 49ers.
Whose grandson?
Ripping that's
Bobby
the Broncos.
Oh,
No.
yeah, Broncos.
Oh no,
Then-
he's the backup to Mullins. He came in the Eagles game. He's right. Yeah,
Okay.
but you know, and that's why I said about Hasty because you'd think they're gonna run the ball to try to make it a little bit easier. First, you want to keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, but plus two, you want to make it a little easier on Nick Mullins when your receivers are out, your starting left tackle's out. You'd think they're going to try to run the ball.
And don't forget, George Kittle's done.
Yeah,
There's your biggest safety net right there.
Right.
I know. You're right, 100%. And
Now, while I got you here, both of you guys, I heard someone throw this out: Kaepernick to the Cowboys.
I don't think so. To me, if I'm them, Stiz, you tell me if you agree. Why? What's the point? What are you going to get this year?
Too.
I lose.
Agree.
I try to get the best pick possible.
He is just too far removed from football to even be a name. I think it was just thrown out there to throw a name out there and get people talking. You know, I just believe that you're too far removed, man.
Yeah, and with the team itself, I think even though NFC East, you're always in it, but I think the Cowboys are too far removed from even a playoff spot. I mean, I know the record doesn't show that because everything's so bungled up in the NFC East, but
look, the Giants still have a shot. They beat Washington this week. They beat the Eagles and beat the Redskins. I mean, the Cowboys, they could sneak in and get the division.
Coach, man, if they just snuck away with that Tampa Bay game, you got Washington this week and the Eagles next week. They could have won if they won that game and then they win the next two. They're in first place.
Yeah.
So and look, anything can happen, man. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised in the way the Eagles are playing. How do you have any faith? I really thought getting Goddard back and Rager, you were going to see a little bit more juice offensively, and you just didn't see it. You just didn't see it.
And listen, fellas, that Monday night game, that's on me. I got an autographed football. I got an autographed jersey from Tom. I had to go with it. I might be able to resell it on eBay for some money. So
yeah, he got his TB12 hat. He's going to be doing plays.
Did you at least get the program? Did he at least throw in the pro? That program's like $1,200 or something.
Yeah, the TB12.
TB12 program or whatever. Yeah. That whole system or whatever is ridiculous.
Referee Rogers, do you have your kale drink you have from TB12? The kale mix?
I do. I just had it for dinner tonight. Yeah.
Stiz, did you look at any props tonight or no?
I did actually.
Oh, good. Look at that. Boom.
I did look at one. You know what? I figured if I was going to sneak on the show real quick and pop it in surprise Coach, I figured I better have a prop bet ready to go.
At least Coach accepted you and didn't go nuts on you like when the one time with me, man. He flipped out on me when I came in with the Ed Hockley Jr. look.
He did. I wasn't sure if he could see my my screen name or not.
No, I saw it, and unlike some analysts that we used to have on the show, that are really disguising themselves. I should say super fans disguising themselves as analysts that come on the show. I know what it is. I know how it works. I'm not fuck you, Tommy Hussein.
Now, what's your prop bet, Stiz?
Well, you talk about the COVID and the injuries and stuff like that. You look at this Green Bay running game. Aaron Jones probably out due to injury, right? Jamal Williams, COVID, not playing tonight.
Really? I didn't know that.
Correct.
Okay.
The rookie, A.J. Dillon, COVID, out tonight. Okay. Wow. So they're going with two no-names tonight. You're going to see Tyler Irvin and Dexter Williams. I don't know who they are. Matter of fact, they may have bagged my stuff at ShopRite this weekend when I was there.
Like Kurt Warner.
I'm not sure. But no running game to speak of. Got it.
Aaron Jones in tonight, according to Tommy Bouchane.
Okay.
I'm looking that up now, Stiz.
But limited.
Oh yeah, okay. So I know he had an injury. He didn't play the last couple of weeks, so I wasn't sure. I know he was questionable going in. Okay, and maybe he does play, half the game. We'll see what happens. But
And if barring any pregame setbacks, and you know it too, look, this game could get out of hand quick, Stiz. You're not going to have him playing and getting hurt. So I would definitely lean away from Aaron Jones. I don't think he's going to see much tonight.
so guess what you're going to see? You're going to see Ron. You're going to see another Aaron Rodgers chucking the ball all over the place.
Yep.
So I'm going over 2.5 touchdown passes tonight. I think he throws the ball all over the place. I think Devontae Adams has another bang game, and go from there.
I like it, and you're getting money on that too, isn't it? Like plus 127 or something like that.
It's close. It's a low underdog, but
okay.
Yeah.
You know what I like too, Stiz? I think he was over like 280. Rodgers, I like over 280, and I'll tell you one thing too. I really like this young tight end Tanyan. Him and Rodgers have started to develop a little bit of a chemistry. I think I don't know what his yards were. I think his receptions were 3.5. I don't know about that as much, but he's had a couple nice plays each game. You know, if his over-under's in that like 35 range, I'd think about dipping over on him maybe.
Yeah, I think he's about 33.5. I think I saw.
That might not be a bad bet.
Another one for in favor of Aaron Rodgers throwing over. 7 games he's played so far because he already had his bye week. Out of them 7 games, 5 of them games he threw 3+ touchdowns in 5 of them 7.
Your boy Boo Ellis wants to know if what about Rodgers throwing an INT?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, is it?
It's plus 160 is so it's you get big money if he throws one.
I would go with no. I would go with no. I think he's gonna be cautious with the ball.
Clean game,
and clean game for sure. And I think San Fran's defense we see is all banged up. And from what I heard,
for stopping by, we appreciate your 2 cents this evening.
Who's that?
Professor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, Stiz, how has MVS done? Because his over-under for yards is only 28.5. Has he been playing much? I know he was kind of in and out.
He's been playing. I mean, he's the number 2 receiver on that team. But
that seems low to me. You know what I mean?
For a number 2 receiver, it sure is. Yeah, he really hasn't doing much of anything. I don't know what his average is, if I had to guess, because I've been tracking him a little bit. Maybe he's averaging 30-some yards a game, not much. Now, Alan Lazard, he's not active tonight, but he's coming back. Alan Lazard is your safety number 2 receiver. He'll be back next week. So look for MVS to probably be pretty much out of the picture come next week.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I at least I'm checking MVS.
Don't do it, Professor. I know. Management's going to come in for the inspection. You better get things tip-top.
Yeah. So, Stiz, MVS, 1 catch, 19 yards last week. No catches the week before. And then the 2 weeks before, 5 for 32 and 8 for 45. So it's probably, and like I said, Rodgers, he'll throw it to the running back, the tight ends. He does distribute that ball all over the place. So that's probably a stay away from type bet.
Well, and tonight, tonight if Aaron Jones doesn't play much or he gets hurt again, maybe MVS will be. He's your long ball. MVS is your long ball guy. He's your ceiling play. Alan Lazard is always your safe play. He's the one that gets 5-6 catches a game.
Yeah.
MVS you might see get a 30-yard grab, a 40-yard grab. So
Yeah, and the tight end I brought off, he's coming off 7 catches, 79 yards, Tanyan. So he's really started to develop a little bit of chemistry with Rodgers, no doubt about it.
Sure. For sure.
Yeah, so it's now I'll pick wise. I got lucky. I jumped on this game early when the line came out. When it first came out, it was like 3.5. Wow. But that was Jimmy G that was only in like special books. My books didn't have it. Then you heard about Kittle and Jimmy G. So my line I got was 5.5. Okay. So right now I'm seeing 7 by the hook. I like the Packers minus 6.5.
Yeah.
I know some people say, and look, you saw it on Monday night where a 12-point favorite, a 12.5-point favorite almost loses the game. I just think too many injuries, man.
Hey, Nick, did you just get your hair done or something, man? You're looking extra orange tonight.
It's the light because I got my light
You're
on.
looking extra ginger tonight.
Coach, tread lightly, brother. Don't make me come down there and show you who the man is. All right, tread lightly, Coach.
Look,
but
one more time, and I'm out of here. Okay, one more time, I'm out of here.
Nick does have a nice glow to him tonight.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, he changed the lighting or whatever in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to keep the who's that guy?
The tranny that does his hair and makeup.
Yes.
An extra good job tonight.
Ed Sheeran look. But no, so I like Packers tonight. I do. Like I said, buy the hook, take it to 6.5. I just think, man, there's too many injuries to come over. I know the Packers did get smoked by the Niners last year, but let's factor that in too. Revenge game. So, short weeks. It is in San Francisco, but I just think Rodgers. Let's not forget too. Rodgers wanted to play in San Francisco.
Oh man, Tommy, you switching teams there? You like that?
Yeah.
Huh? Look.
So,
calling you an angel there.
Yeah. Rodgers wanted to get drafted by San Francisco, and they passed him. They took Alex Smith. And you remember, it was him and Alex Smith. They took Alex Smith one. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's from Santa Clara, but he grew up big Niners fan, so.
And then fell all the way to the 30th pick or whatever. Yeah,
23rd or something like that. But, so, no, I like the Packers tonight. I think it's a good pick. Take them straight -6.5, buy the half. He is very – thank you, Vicky. And it's just my beard. My hair is blonde. My beard's red. I was born with red hair, but my hair is blonde. It's just how it looks. My beard is red. So at least I have hair. I mean, I could be a bald prick like Coach, so I'm okay.
Yeah. He looked like little orphan Annie coming out of the womb. Curly red hair.
Oh, man.
Or you could be a hairy midget.
This is a true story. So when I was born, I had red hair. And my mom's the OBGYN, whatever it is, the doctor who my mom gave, was doing the birth, had red hair. And he comes out and he says, "Don't look at me," to my dad, because, I was born with red hair. My dad's like, "How's he have red hair?" But my father has the same thing. My dad has a red beard as well. So that's where I got it from. But I always thought that's a good little thing. It was a funny joke that the guy, because, not many people have red hair.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up, Jason Dean? What's going on, brother? Big game
Saturday.
Whoa,
big news. Jason Dean, I'm breaking the news now. He's in a relationship.
Oh, and I'll tell you, Jason Dean, man, just send me a couple of tips, brother. You're doing something right. Yeah. And I'm happy for you, buddy. I'm happy for you.
Look, he sold enough badges, and that's what he won the prize. That's what happened. You sell enough badges, man.
Glad to see you out of Facebook jail, JD.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was last Thursday, too.
It's been a week.
I knew you would bust your way out of there.
Hell, yeah.
I'll tell you, man. We should, I feel bad now. We should have went out and did a whole Free Jason Dean campaign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Free Jason Dean.
Right. Right. Free JD. Free JD. We started chanting it, man.
That's right.
That's funny.
Good for you, Jason. I'm glad to hear that, buddy. And hopefully it continues Saturday with a win by Notre Dame for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'll be a good game.
Because Trevor Lawrence isn't playing, so at least you got that going for you.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be a good game, night game too. So, I mean, it definitely evens the playing field a little bit, because we've all talked about how kind of unfair it is that basically there's three teams and everybody else: Ohio State, Clemson, and Alabama, and then everybody else. Just because everybody, like you said, Coach, everybody wants to go play with the playoff teams. Yeah. So the Raiders, Jason Dean. They should win, but man, the Chargers with 4 straight games, losing by 6, having a 16-point lead and blowing it. I know they did end up winning the one game against the Jags. I don't know about the spot, man, and the line looks weird with the Chargers being a 1-point favorite. It seems too easy for the Raiders. So, yeah, I mean, for your sake, I hope the Raiders win, but it's going to be it's going to be a shootout, and whoever has the ball last, I think.
I'll tell you,
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah,
Justin Herbert is the GOAT. Dude, he is balling, man.
Yeah,
I'll
he's
tell you,
good.
this kid is really
And
surprised.
he's got his acne. He's still got pimples all over his face. He looks like he just came out of middle school, man.
Yeah, Stiz is dusting off that powder blue jersey.
Might have to wear it on Sunday, my LT, yeah.
Yeah. So no, that'll be a good game, but obviously the headline.
I don't think the Raiders can hold them to 20 points, Jason Dean.
Yeah, I think it's going to be high scoring, but I think the Raiders are going to score a lot of points too.
Yes, I do too, but I'm just saying it's going to be more of a closer shootout than, 38-35, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Chargers has given up 4 straight games of at least 29 points. So they'll be giving up some points on defense. And it's just, I don't get it because they look so good early and jump on these teams. Rookie QB. Oh, yeah. Look at Watson and Herbert. Look, yeah. And look, I mean, let's give Herbert credit. But he got a good supporting cast, too, with Keenan Allen and all. But I'll tell you, the kid will stick in there and take a shot. He will. He'll take a hit. He don't care. And he's got an arm, man. He throws a very accurate deep ball. One of the prettiest deep balls I've seen.
Yeah. Should be in giant blue, but, we got Daniel Jones.
Could you imagine there, Coach? Woo. He'd look good in giant blue, too.
Yeah,
Brian.
He'd be running away with the NFC East right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian. Ayuk is out tonight, unfortunately. COVID related.
So, what else? We got a big Sunday show coming up. We'll have these two characters joining me again. Sunday Fun Day. Come join us as we get your football Sunday fired up. We'll have some big news. I can't let it out, the cat out of the bag just yet. But we're going to start off the new year. We're going to be starting off the new year with something pretty big. As we get closer, we'll be able to talk more about it and stuff. But for right now, just letting everybody know we're going to be maybe the platform will be a little bit bigger. How's that as a little teaser?
Yeah, and 2 winning weeks in a row for Nevada Nick too. So looking good coming into this. Gave you. I won the last 2 Monday nights. I said, Coach, you remember I said I thought I said Giants would cover on Monday. I had them losing by 11. The point spread was 12.5. I've had the last 2 Thursday night games. So feeling good.
Yes, Jason Dean, the kid I mentioned him, the kid from BYU. Maybe he comes up, but that's why I think the Giants trade back.
Yeah.
Because they'll probably have a top 5 pick. But again, I think maybe the Giants go on a run. If they beat Washington, they beat Philadelphia next week and Dallas at the end of the year. They still got the Browns and somebody else still sprinkled in there. But
I would hope from Philly too that you would hope that coming off the bye playing the Giants, you're going to see one of their better games. I would hope. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you'd hope.
Why do we always get stuck having to play the Eagles off a bye? I think the NFL's got it in for us. I swear, man. Always off the bye. They win. I mean, their record is incredible off the bye. I don't understand it. I'm really tired of it.
All right. Calm down, Lieutenant.
The NFL's against us.
Yeah. Well, look, the one thing I'm concerned about, in all honesty, I said it earlier in the show, I don't like all this COVID, man. You're starting to really – I think Stiz, Texans, Chiefs, Stafford is on the COVID list. He didn't test positive, but he's at high exposure or something. Bears, Chiefs. There's a lot of teams with COVID positives, and I want to get through this season, man. We're halfway through it now. This week is the official halfway point, week 9. There's 17 weeks. So I'm a little concerned. I'm sure you as a fantasy guy, everything's so fluid. You know what I mean? It's tough.
It's real tough to keep up with. You mentioned Stafford. Stafford apparently was in contact with a non-football player, and he had to quarantine for 5 days.
Right.
5 days and take 5 straight tests coming up.
I thought it was 3.
They said 5, and in 5 it takes you right up to Sunday. And what they said was he'd had to take a private plane by himself to play in Sunday's game.
Okay, Tommy just put something up. Do you see who joined us too? Big Blue. There he is.
Hey, Billy
Cobb with
Cobb.
those Michigan Wolverines. Oh, man, what happened, Billy? I finally, after I thought, Michigan looks good after they beat Minnesota. I thought the kid looked really good to QB. And then I saw Minnesota obviously loses their second week. I said, maybe not Michigan isn't good. And you can't beat Michigan State. What happened, Billy? I couldn't believe it, man. I think Harbaugh's in trouble.
I know you don't follow the show on a regular basis, but I'm mimicking some prior guests that we've had on this show. We've had some kind of short, small people on the show to give us some small, small excerpts of their stuff. So,
before I forget, how about Dallas benching the good old Italian kid?
yeah.
Huh? How about after one game, and I know he looked terrible, but yeah,
well, maybe that's why they benched him, because he looked.
I guess, but I mean,
terrible.
The two names that they brought up, I mean, no clue. I think one guy was on the practice squad, and the other.
Neither of them, I don't think, have ever started or thrown a pass in the NFL either. So the one they said, well, he's practiced a little bit, but Stiz, once again, I said it earlier in the week. Mike McCarthy's more about bringing friends in, like he did with the defensive coordinator. The kid Danucci, he played basketball with his brother,
right,
in Biddy League or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. You drafted him. Like, I understand when you got a young kid playing, but he just didn't look like an NFL quarterback to me.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, what everybody fails to understand is Dallas has no money, so they went with the cheapest guy they could get, and that was him.
Yeah,
and they didn't think that they were going to have to use him. And guess what? You gambled and you lost. You know how that is, Nick, when sometimes you roll the dice and you crap out, and here's what Dallas happened to Dallas.
I know how that is. Trust me, man. One of those games was Billy's freaking team again. Sorry, Billy, I'm not trying to shit on your team, but one of the worst up there was that Michigan State game where all they had to do was punt the ball. And the guy drops the ball, and I'm like, and then look, if they would have tackled him, they still would be going. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! You gotta be getting a score. That hurt. But I've had it go other ways too. I had Auburn in that game where Alabama they missed the field goal.
Jim Harbaugh will be maybe coaching the Jets. If it's not Eric Bieniemy, it's going to be Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
because he's done. I think.
Yeah. Look at that. Florida beats Georgia. Well, yeah.
I don't know about that.
I like Georgia, though. I like their
team.
You're
way out on the limb. So, but listen, guys, remember, chime in on Sunday morning, 10 to 11. We'll have all your football stuff going on because we got to switch over. I got some high school football. Got some big football games going on this weekend here in Delaware. So I'm getting that going. So you guys stick around and stay tuned. But Nick, head referee Bradley Rogers, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you coming on and explaining the flags. And maybe you could get me a TB12 hat or something. I'd appreciate it.
I got you covered, Coach. I got you covered.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. All right, we'll see you guys on Sunday.
All right, sounds good, Coach.
All right. Let me bring in my broadcast partner here. What's up, Dave? How you doing,
Coach?
buddy?
How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So we had, kind of a little crazy game on Friday night. It kind of went the way we thought it was going to go. But some odd things went on and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, Cape starts out 0-2. Now they have to travel up to Milford, make the short drive up there. And, Milford's playing well. They've had the bye.
We talked about this during the game, but I really agree with you that Cape started to chase that game against Smyrna, right? They were hanging around early on. They tried to do the 2-point conversion, which you always say they try to chase that. They just –
right, you're chasing points because it's not something – if you don't practice that every day, every single day, you're not good at it. It's total different. Everybody thinks, it's just 2 yards. It's no big deal. But it is the hardest 2 yards in football, really.
Yeah. And there was no need to do it that early in the game.
Right. There was no need. And, you turn the momentum around. Really, you kind of mess with their head because they're playing the head game and expecting you to do what you did. And when you don't do it, it throws them for a kind of a loop. And you would have kept yourself. But I mean, they did keep it close.
Early on it was competitive.
Early on, it was 8-6, then 16-6. I mean, 24-6. But you missed scoring opportunities. You had a chance to kick 3. Instead, you went for it, missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that didn't really cost you because they Smyrna shot themselves in the foot on a 4th down play at midfield. You moved back down into field goal range. You opted not to go for it. Not kick the field goal again and go for it. That time, it kind of bit you because they went and turned around and scored with a minute and a half left in the half. Yeah. And, it was pretty much out of reach after that. And yes,
we know that Cape
isn't that Will Knight's brother? I off the top of my head. No, that's 25. I don't 21.
Yeah, it's Wayne Knight and Ymir Knight.
Yeah. So
but one of the things I look at is, we know Cape is more of a running team, but they need somebody that's more reliable catching the ball. Because we saw a lot of issues with that. I know they don't rely.
I know that there's been that issue. The receiver, I think he's been targeted, 8 times and only caught 1 ball. But I really think it's more of a scheme issue than a player issue. To be more quite honest with you, just my take on it, that you just need to shorten those routes up. The routes are taking so long.
I agree with that.
To develop, and the pressure that is getting to the quarterback, and now the quarterback's throwing off balance,
not square on the shoulders.
The ball's going all over the place. So it's really not the receiver's fault at that. I mean, there were some. Oh man, cat just jumped off the damn out of me. So there's been some that obviously they were just blatant drops, but most of the time it's more of a scheme issue than it is.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a lot of diversity in the passing game.
Yeah, it's a lot of one receiver route stuff, and not so really you're telling the defense kind of you stop one thing and you're kind of.
Now, I mean, against a team like Smyrna, you're going to need to put up points. Passing game's probably more important. Against Milford.
You say that, and I don't. You're falling into the trap again.
I know you got to chase the game, but
trap again that you need. All of a sudden you need to throw the ball and keep up with them. You don't. You play your game, and you take time off the clock, and then the pressure's back on them because then they have to go even faster to try to score and make up points. Because you saw they don't have a kicking game. They don't kick the ball off very well. So they're giving you the ball with very good field position. So you turn around and score, and you're within that field goal range, and you're still within striking distance. You're fine.
So I just like seeing the ball thrown around.
Look, you're not the only one. Everybody in the state of Delaware has been doing it for 5 years now. I mean, or for whatever, is there no running clock until 3 minutes left in the game? Yeah, that's something to build on, Billy. You say no running clock till 3 minutes. It wasn't the whole.
Yeah, last year was a lot earlier than that.
Keep it within, under 35. But I am going to say this: when your team that we don't have a lot of depth. So when in the second half, when Smyrna starts putting their number 2s in, it's your time to put number 2s in so that it's called building depth. And that's what you kind of got to do. And take that opportunity. The game really is out of reach at that point because let's be honest here, this Cape team is good for 2 touchdowns and maybe a 3 touch. They're a 3 touchdown team. I don't think their defense is better than 3 touchdown team.
Well, we talked about maybe making a quarterback change a little bit earlier.
And not necessarily, that quarterback, but I mean, all across the board, I think you got to bring guys in because you don't wait. I know it's tough when you're in the moment. It's easy for me to sit here in this chair and be that armchair coach. I mean, but I've been there, and I know it's tough. That let me get this kid in. And you struggle with when is that time to do that because, here we're young that's out there and I need them to get those reps. But
absolutely.
Also you need to save them and get other kids reps too. And it's such a hard juggle to get that, mesh that together. But I think sometimes you just gotta, say, okay, and give in and say, I got to get these young guys on the field, especially
in the end, you're probably not going to win that game, so get some people some experience.
Right. Is that but you're right, Billy. The depth issue, but that's my point. You can make it. It's that, but that's your time to do that and try to build that depth on your squad. So now you're going to go up to Milford. Milford is not quite Smyrna. They are kind of growing into that type of offense of spreading the ball and throwing the ball and running that spread offense. And as we saw, that defense had a lot of problems with motion and covering that,
a lot of confusion
back and the slot guys. So we'll see tomorrow night. If this week they were able to make some key adjustments, you got to remember Milford also had an extra week to prepare.
Yeah, that could help or hurt. Who knows?
Yes, you can go both ways. You don't know. You don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah, I mean they have two good running backs. I think Sean Saxon, the quarterback's a junior, so he has some experience, and I think it'll be a close game. Based on the fact Cape beat them last year. Cape's had two really tough opponents the first 2 weeks. So I think it'll be competitive. I don't know if you agree, but I think
Cape did win the game last year. They did. Yeah. They used some trickeration, couple of trickeration plays to and jumped in and kind of stole that game because if you look the following week, Dover came in and kind of ran them right over, and then Milford beat Dover. So it was how did that happen? And Dover's kind of that I call it Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know which kind of you're going to get when you play those guys. Depends on what time of the year and what the record is with those guys up there. So we'll see. But it's going to be a good game. Milford, they're smelling blood in the water, and I think this is going to be Milford wants a little revenge from last year rather, and they're kind of taking advantage of this shortened season and going to try and sneak into the playoffs.
Yep, and we'll be broadcasting outside for the second time this year. I've been told we're going to be on the 30-yard line in the bleachers, so this ought to be fun.
So yes, we will be bleachers. We have to bring a tent or something.
We'll see. I'm going to get there early to find out.
We have to get there early and set it up. We'll see. This will also be simulcast on the sister station. Go ahead, call it out because I don't know.
Cool 102.1 and. We'll be on Delaware 105.9.
Right. And, I invited the announce team from the other station to come on and give us a little more insight into the Milford side of things. But it will
they're a little intimidated by us,
I guess they they're a little intimidated. So
we're getting better ratings right now.
We'll give them a little we'll have to give them a little hard time tomorrow. The bye Kate.
Hey, before I go, I got a shout out. Your Giants really hung in there. I love the compete of that team. So I got
look. It's the week before it was Evan Ingram couldn't catch. This week Daniel Jones can't throw.
Yeah.
really.
They're in these games. I'm not confident the Eagles can beat them.
Honestly, Daniel Jones throws that 2 seconds quicker like he should have instead of holding it. They score that easily, that 2-point conversion, and who knows what could happen. But he shouldn't have came to that. He missed 3 wide open receivers down the field, and it was just bad. But they have played, and here's the funny thing: they play Washington this week.
Yeah.
They play the Eagles the week after that. 2 wins there.
They're right in it.
Division. They're back in the division race.
Yeah. And I would not be surprised if they won both of those games.
I agree. And, Daniel Jones is the only team he can beat. Only wins are against Tampa and Washington.
Yeah.
So, he's got 3 wins against Washington and 1 win against Tampa.
Yeah, and if Carson Wentz plays the way he did against the Cowboys, it'll be a blowout.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones can't throw the football either.
Well, he's better than Ben DiNucci.
So we'll have to see how that works for Dallas. They're going to bring in another guy, I guess.
Yeah, practice squad guy.
So, and that bodes well because they play the Giants at the end of the season, and it could be meaning the Giants winning the division or not. I'm still holding out.
Right.
Hope the Giants could win with a 5-12 record.
Crazy, just crazy.
Or 5-11 rather. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to Philly sports radio, I mean, they're not happy with this Eagles team.
Well, if you're a Phillies fan, how would
they're concerned. You've got a 5th-year quarterback that is going backwards.
Well, I put that more on Doug than I do on Carson. Doug doesn't want to run the ball, and then you're forcing Carson Wentz to do more things.
Yeah,
he's going to do too much, and he doesn't have the pieces around him. Obviously Ertz is hurt, and he doesn't have any receivers to throw to, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to go back to Wawa, recruit a couple of sandwich makers, and see if they can catch a football.
Yeah, I mean, Fulgham's been a surprise wide receiver. They haven't had Miles Sanders in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
And also, I like Ward Jr. I liked him.
Ward, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was a good, third number 3.
Yeah, he's reliable.
And a reliable guy. So, we'll go.
And Jalen Reagor's back, the rookie. So we'll see if he can get downfield. But
let me ask you this as an Eagles fan. How bad does it piss you off watching DJ Metcalf?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's multiple
all
receivers
over the field catching all these balls.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson we could have had.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, CeeDee Lamb.
Well, no, the Cowboys jumped up and took them.
Well, that's right. Yeah, but there were a couple others in the year before. Metcalf and who's the guy? Claypool this year. I think the Steelers took him low.
Yeah.
Just up.
Yeah, but I don't put stock in those later rounds because that's you're picking need over.
Yeah,
and
I think there was consensus
need for the Eagles, but they felt somewhere else
at
that time was a bigger need. So
yeah, but I think consensus was that Jalen Reagor wasn't the best wide receiver to take in the first round.
Okay,
but Howie Roseman, he's made some good picks. Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert. That's about it, actually. But.
I really think you're going to see the loss of Joe Douglas really start to kick in now.
And of coaching-wise, Frank Reich.
Yes, absolutely.
And here's the problem. The Eagles, no matter what they do this year, if they squeak in the playoffs, they're $60 million over the cap next year.
Yeah. So
I don't see them getting much better.
Down too, so they're going to be more.
Yeah, they're all messed up. I mean, they're going to lose some players. Deshaun Jackson's going to be gone.
Obviously, he'll be done.
Yeah, a couple other guys, but
be gone one way or the other.
Yeah, they're going to have to trade Ertz.
I think Ertz. They're going to hold on and see if they could do it on a draft day. He'll be like a
Yeah,
draft day.
but they're going to have to build through the draft because free agency is just not going to be there for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not going to be able to sign guys because
And their track record the last 3 or 4 years in the draft hasn't been real good. So,
yeah, well, same as the Giants. So we can't.
Yeah.
The same.
so I guess I have the Flyers to look forward to if they ever bring hockey back. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So, all right, Dave, we'll see you tomorrow night, 6:30, 105.9 is the pregame. Kickoff is at 7.
Yep.
So stop by the
Bring us some
Dollar,
food.
and you're coming by. Obviously any Milford people out there because the Cape folks can't come to the game.
Yeah.
So if you're listening and want to bring us something, we'll be.
Coach was starving last week. He didn't get any dinner before the game.
It is killing us. So we'll see. Maybe we'll have to talk. Maybe we'll meet beforehand and have to grab us a bite.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky. I only live about 3 minutes away. So
all right. Well, make sure we have something cooked up. We'll stop at your house and get something to eat and
get some chili, pot roast, something like that.
Yeah, something, man. Get it fired up, man.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Dave. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow. All right,
All right.
everyone.
Take it easy.
We'll see everybody on Sunday. Take care.